Hey guys, welcome back to DC Action. My name is Chris. Today we're going to be breaking down episode 12 and 13 of Naomi, the final two episodes. Alrighty, so if you have not watched any of the previous episodes, do so now before watching this video, because everything kind of comes to a close in this episode and you definitely don't want to get any spoilers. Alright, now that everyone's watched the episodes, let's get straight into the breakdown. Alright, so this episode starts off with a flashback to when Naomi was a baby, and it looks like someone is chasing her parents as they try to escape the earth they are on, and her parents put Naomi into a ship, and then we see Naomi waking up as a teenager, implying that it was a dream that Naomi was witnessing, or was aware of, rather than witnessing. Then we see Naomi's adopted parents with Zimbedo, Dee and Akira discuss options of where to run away, but Naomi wants to stay in Port Oswego and fight against Brutus. However, they object to this, although Akira seems to be more on Naomi's side, and she brings up some sort of power source that could serve as a way of defeating Brutus. But Zimbedo shuts the idea down as soon as he hears it. So Naomi goes to Akira's workshop, and while there she gets another vision of her being put into the pod, and Akira says this is because Naomi might have psychic powers. While at Akira's workshop, Naomi asks for some help against her fight with Brutus. Akira tells Naomi that there is a power source on Earth that could amplify Naomi's powers, and Akira gives Naomi a locket in order to help her find it, and when she touches it she gets a vision of a field with some flowers in it. So Naomi, along with Annabelle, drive to this location where she could find this power source. Meanwhile, Anthony goes to see Lourdes in the comic book store, and he wants to interview her about the Superman incident. They end up talking about all the weird things that Naomi has been doing through the series so far, and they both decide to investigate why. While at a diner, Naomi gets a vision of a man with glowing red eyes. Then in a later scene, we see this same man go into the diner, and when he shows his eyes to one of the workers there, the guy starts suffocating just from a simple glance. Lourdes and Anthony visit Dee at his store to ask him about the Superman incident, as he claimed earlier that he was behind it. When they ask Dee about Akira, Zimbedo confronts them and tells them to stop asking questions. Meanwhile, Naomi talks to Annabelle about wishing she was still normal and didn't have powers. She also worries that she's not ready to fight against Brutus, that maybe her parents were right to run away. Right after that, she gets a vision of the same guy with glowing eyes and finds out he's at a motel that her and Annabelle are at. Jennifer talks to Akira and questions if her and Greg did the right thing by raising Naomi. Akira talks about how the event that destroyed Earth 29 gave her powers. Annabelle and Naomi find the field from her visions but find nothing there. Meanwhile, Anthony and Lourdes go into the forest to look for evidence of the Superman incident, despite being warned to turn away. While in the forest, they find Naomi's birth rock, which is glowing, which normally only happens when Naomi happens to be around. While at the rock, Julian attacks them, but Dee is there to save them, showing them his wings in the process. Zimbedo helps Dee fighting against Julian, and Julian ends up running away. The guy with glowing eyes confronts Naomi and Annabelle, where he says that he wants to kill her. The two of them fight, with him gaining the upper hand, but when he attempts to stab her, his blades, that appear to be made out of energy, get destroyed upon contact with Naomi's skin. After that, he says that this is, quote, way above his pay grade, and then runs away. Back at Dee's store, Lourdes and Anthony question Dee and Zimbedo about what happened earlier, and they end up telling them that they are not from Earth and that there are other worlds and universes. Anthony realizes that Naomi isn't human, but Dee decides not to tell them anything, as this is Naomi's secret. Naomi places the locket Akira gave her on the disc from earlier on in the season, and doing so makes a door show up in the field. Annabelle decides not to follow Naomi through it. Once Naomi goes through the door, she starts having more flashbacks. In this other place, people claiming to be her parents appear to her in the form of light, or their essence as it was put. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you look at the photo, you can kind of get what I'm trying to say. Her parents claim that there is no power source that could help her defeat Brutus, but Naomi is what could save their world and defeat Brutus. Back at Dee's shop, Matt confronts him, claiming that Cruella is alive and she can help Dee find her, only if he does something for her. Naomi's parents say that she can save her world with the help of the 29, all of them. They also say that Naomi can't trust anyone as they may betray her, which kind of lines up to Dee's offer. We're kind of positioned to think that he might betray them, but I don't think this is the case. But we shall find out very soon, because we are now going to break down episode 13. So this episode starts off with Jen and Greg having a conversation with Naomi about her birth parents and the night they left Earth 29. Naomi and her parents plan to leave Port Oswego without telling anyone because of the possible traitor in their midst. After going to Zumbado's dealership, he tells her that running away is wrong and they should only do it to buy her time to fight back and not out of fear, like they are currently doing. While Naomi and her parents drive away, they are attacked by Julian and the guy with red eyes. Naomi crawls out of the car unhurt, but her parents don't seem to be anywhere to be found. Naomi goes to Dee's shop to find help, but he's also missing. Then we see where they are. So Jen, Greg, Akira, Zumbato, and Dee are all held in a room together after their powers are dampened. Dee tells them about Mac visiting him and tells them that he refused her offer. Naomi and Annabelle realize that her friends may be in danger, and they go to find them. While meeting with her friends, the guy with red eyes is back, who really needs a name. I don't think we ever caught that. And Naomi goes looking for him. After not being able to find him, Naomi and her friends leave and go to the dojo with everyone in the know, which now includes Annabelle, Nathan, Jacob, Anthony, and Lourdes, two of which just found out last episode. Jacob uses his alien tracker to find the adults, which they realize was way too easy, possibly leading to a trap. Naomi tries to leave without telling her friends, but they catch her and try to convince her that they need her help. But nevertheless, she tries to leave without him, using her super speed to do so. The adults attempt to break out of the room using their various skills, eventually realizing that they can't escape. Kira senses that there is shifting geothermal energy under the building they are in, which may lead to the opening of an interdimensional portal. The adults realize that Brutus's henchmen laid a trap to take Naomi back to Earth 29. Naomi gets to the place where the adults are being kept. Glowy Eye Man and Julian confront her. However, Naomi didn't come alone, and her friends are there to help her. Her friends keep Julian at bay while Naomi uses her powers to incapacitate Glowy Eye Man. And yes, that is the name I'm going to use for him. Meanwhile, Naomi's friends rescue the adults. Dee, Zumbato, and Akira stay behind to help Naomi, while Greg and Jen help the children escape. Dee makes Julian tell him about Cruella, and he eventually gives him a possible lead to find her. Annabelle catches Naomi just before she goes through the portal to Earth 29. Naomi says that she needs to go through the portal in order to protect the people she loves, stopping Brutus before he can come through to their Earth. Once Naomi goes through the portal, it closes behind her. On the other side, Brutus greets her, telling her that he's not from Earth 29 or even that universe. Brutus throws a knife at Naomi, and she ends up bleeding despite being invulnerable to most things, meaning that this knife, whatever it's made of, is basically her kryptonite. Brutus makes Naomi see the night she was taken away from Earth 29, seeing her adopted parents take her by force. Although it's a bit unclear from this scene that you see that, but we do end up seeing more of that later. Brutus offers for Naomi to join him, but she refuses, of course, and then he attacks her. But just before he could kill Naomi, she uses her powers to knock him back, and in doing so the environment around her is restored to what it used to be before what they call a tear. Zumbato and Akira come to help Naomi, and Akira stays on Earth 29 to make sure Brutus doesn't follow them back to their universe. Back on the main Earth, Naomi talks to Zumbato and Dee about her encounter with Brutus, and they plan to convince the 29 to fight against Brutus, starting with Akira, who is currently on Earth 29 with Brutus. Naomi plans to continue her training alone, and to let Dee follow the lead on Cruella he got. Then we cut to the forest with Naomi and her parents, where they plan to hide her ship. When she touches it, she has another flashback to what looks like Greg and Jen kidnapping Naomi, killing her biological parents in the process. Naomi confronts them about this, and they claim it was for the greater good, to help them fix the tear. But because people didn't believe them, they kidnapped Naomi, killing her parents. After they attempt to calm Naomi down and get her to listen, Naomi starts hovering above the ground, and eventually she flies away. That is the end of this episode and season 1 of this series. Now, we don't have confirmation for a second season yet, but I don't know if we will ever get one. So I think this is all we're going to get for Naomi. But if we do get a second season, I'll definitely break that down. And it would be cool if we get a second season, because some of the concepts left in this episode would definitely like to be explored in a second season. But anyway, that is it for this video, so I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content like this. And if you have any feedback, leave it in the comments below. But until next time, this has been Bruce, and I'll be seeing you.